Hello, my charmed ones, and welcome back to my channel for another video. As you can see from my setup today, I'm actually going to be giving you guys a little mini training on a very important business topic. So as you can see, I'm set up here. You guys can see me in my video feed, but you can also see the slides because, as I like to do when I do these trainings, is I like to put my information on slides, which makes it easier for you guys to follow, but also it means that you don't necessarily have to be scribbling down notes constantly, because you could just take screenshots, right, from the video to save the information, or you can refer back to this video if you have any questions or want to make more notes later. It's all there for you on screen. You guys know how I roll. I like to make things as easy and accessible as possible for you guys. So what is the topic that we are talking about today? We are talking about 3 reasons why you are not making more sales in your business. And I've kind of like subtitled this, Shifting from Limiting Beliefs to Solutions, because as we go through this discussion about the reasons why you're not making more sales, I'm going to be identifying common limiting beliefs, 3 common limiting beliefs that I think you think are the reasons why you're not making more sales. And I'm going to break them down into the actual reason and the solution. And the reason I'm doing this is because I think so often it's so easy for us to get into a mindset of a specific limiting belief saying, I can't have more sales, or my business can't be successful because of this. And we just kind of accept the limiting belief instead of reframing it, looking for a solution, and then taking action on the solution, which helps us to solve the problem. And that's exactly what I want to do in today's class. Now, before we jump into the content, I want to be really specific about who I'm talking to in this class, because I know there's a lot of different ladies in my community who are at various stages of business. And when I say 3 reasons why we're not making more sales, that can apply to anyone. Any one of us, no matter how successful we are doing, may say, hey, I would like to make more sales. Like if you think about it, like Jeff Bezos, who runs Amazon, makes billions of dollars a year. Like I don't even know how much like Amazon is worth and how many sales they make. He every single day probably wakes up and goes, I want to make more sales. Why am I not making more sales? Let's find new ways to make sales, right? So this is not geared towards someone whose business is really doing well and you're just looking for like the next level up. I'm really talking today to women who have some offer, a product or a service, and they've put it out there and they have gotten some sales, but they really feel like, why am I not making more sales, right? Like you really feel like there's a lack, like you're putting in a lot of time and effort, but you're not seeing the results that you're looking for. Those are the people I'm targeting, not just the people who want to make more for more sake, or make more to hit the new level of revenue or whatnot. I'm really speaking to people who really feel like there is a problem, there's a block, there's something that's stopping them from making more sales. They really feel like more sales should be coming in. So if that is you, you are in the right place. Let's go ahead and immediately jump into the solutions because I have some amazing information to share with you guys today. Okay, so the first reason why you're not making more sales, this is the limiting belief that I believe you have. And if you have any of these limiting beliefs, I want you to tell me limiting belief number 1 is mine, or number 2, or number 3, or I have all of them. Let me know in the comments how this resonates with you. Limiting belief number 1 is that you think you don't have enough followers. That's what you think is the problem. You think I don't have a big enough audience and that's why I'm not making sales. Sure, I've sold a couple of my offer, but I'm not making more because I don't have enough followers. Here is actually the truth of the situation though. The truth is that you're not sharing enough content about your offer. That's really what the problem is. You know, when it comes to, the size of our followings, of course it matters in some respects, right? Like if you have 0 followers on a platform, you really can't expect to be making sales, right? But I really believe that if you have crafted like a dedicated following of maybe like 100, a few hundred, even 1,000 or a few thousand followers, right, on a platform, I think you should be making pretty regular sales, okay? So I know a lot of people, it's very easy to think like, even when you're at someone like 1,000 subscribers or followers or whatnot, you feel like, wow, well, if only I had 10,000, right? Like, or if I had 20,000 or 100,000, then my business would take off. I'm telling you, if you've been creating your content correct, and if you've been sharing enough content about your offer, it doesn't matter really if you have 100 or 1,000, right? That really is going to be enough for you to start making some consistent sales. So let's go ahead and talk about the solution now to not sharing enough content. So the first thing you have to understand about the content you're creating on your platforms is that you need to be creating content that falls into one of three categories in order to make sales successfully. So the first category of content is content that is made to attract new ideal customers to your platforms. So that's the first category of content you need to create. Things that are going to attract people who are your ideal customer, the people who need your product, your offer, your service, whatever it is. You need to be speaking to them with some of your content, okay? So that they are seeing things that are relatable to them or that are speaking to their struggles, and they think, wow, this account, this person knows what they're talking about. I want to follow them, right? That's category number one. Category number two is content that builds the know, like, and trust factors, which means this is content that is going to help people to understand what your business is about, what you are about if you're kind of like a personal brand. Content that helps people understand whether or not they like what you do, right? So your style, your values, your opinions on the subject matter are very important. You need to be sharing that with your customers so that they understand and start building, that like factor and also trust factors, right? So content that shares some solutions for them. Obviously, you don't want to give away your entire process or your entire product, right, for free, but content that really shows that you know what you're talking about when you say, if you buy my offer, you are going to get a solution to your problem. That is the second category of content you need to have. Building the know, like, and trust factors is super important. Now, the third type of content or category of content is content that converts those ideal customers into actual customers, right? So these are going to be like sales call to actions, right? Theoretically, once you have amassed a following of people, you've attracted these people to your platform, you have built the know, like, and trust factors. When you do share with them what you have to offer them that solves their problems, it should turn on, this buy activity in their brain that says, you know what? I like this person, I follow this person, I trust their advice, I have this problem, let me go ahead and make the investment, right? So that should help convert more sales for you, okay? Now, we need to talk about in this sort of category within this solution of sharing more content, why you aren't sharing more content online to begin with. And I always think that there are two main reasons that people are not sharing more online. Number one is fear, right? So fear of putting yourself out there, fear of being seen as salesy, fear of bothering people, right? If that applies to you, that is one category. Let me know if that's you, if you're the fear category. The second category is time. That content creation is something that's taking you too long. So you either skip it or you create very low quality, easy content just to post something, right? So that is category number two. Tell me if that's you in the comments below. Now, I want to be very clear here. I'm going to actually be creating more dedicated videos on these two specific topics over the next few weeks. So I'm going to be doing a video on fear of selling and how to do good marketing without spending a lot of time. Those videos are coming up, so keep an eye out. Make sure you're subscribed to this channel. Go ahead and give it a like right now, just so, if you've been getting some value from this already in this conversation. We're only on tip number one or reason number one, right? And we have 2 more reasons to go. So keep your eye out on my channel for the next 2 videos in this series that I'm creating are going to be on solving these problems for you, okay? So reason number 2, you're not making more sales. This is the limiting belief. This is what you think. You think that your audience can't afford your price point. So you think that your product, your service, your offer must be too pricey. That's why people won't sign up. That's why you're not getting sales. People can't afford it. So the actual reason is that you're not communicating the value of your offer to these ideal customers through your content. So in order to convert sales, you need to give your followers the right information. And so I think right now, if this is you, this is the information you're sharing about your offer. You're saying what the offer is, you're talking about how much it costs, and you're talking about exactly what you get when you purchase, which this is important information to have for sure, but it's not the entire picture of what you need to be sharing. So what your ideal customer actually needs to know is who the offer is right for so they can make sure that they are right for the offer, the problem that it solves, again, so they can say, oh, wait, that's my problem, so this is for me, right? And the possibilities that the offer opens up to them once they have purchased it, right? So think of that like a before and after. Like, this is where I was before. After I have after I get the product, or I buy the offer or the service or whatnot, this is where I'll be. That is what you really need to communicate with them. The top stuff is good. It's not enough. It's just the tip of the iceberg. The bottom section here, what they actually need to know, is far more important. So if you start changing your conversion content, right, that third category of content, to be focusing on this information, right, more often, I think you're going to start seeing more sales. Okay. Now, reason number 3 that you're not getting more sales, the limiting belief that you believe, right, is that your product isn't good. You think, well, my product must not be good. People don't want it. It's not good enough, right? The actual reason, though, is that you are talking to the wrong people with your content. So if this is you, right, you really need to make sure that your content and your offer are for the same exact person, okay? So an issue that I see happen this is so common, you guys, is that the content that you're making right now is attracting one type of person, but that person is not the person that your offer solves problems for. So this happens when we don't do enough market research before we start creating content. Or I find that this happens a lot when you kind of create content that's more fun or personal to you, and it's not necessarily value focused for your customers. I see this all the time, right? With people who have a nice engaged following on a platform, but then they don't seem to be making any sales because the people in their audience aren't the target for what they are selling, right? So you need to make sure this is in alignment, okay? So the fix here is that you really need to start engaging with your current audience. I think a simple way to do this is through polls and Q&As, and even sending them DMs and asking them if they're struggling with the problem that your offer solves. I want you to look at your content and see if the content geared towards your ideal customers' pain points does well in comparison to maybe fun or relatable or inspirational content. Start intentionally creating content in those 3 categories we mentioned before to see how engaged your following is when you start getting in alignment with your content and your offer. And if you see that there's not a lot of engagement when you actually start creating the right content for your offer, that is a really good sign that you don't have the right customer base right now. Like, your followers aren't your ideal customers. And so what you're going to need to do is kind of in your mind, switch off and say, okay, I've got this following, but they're not the right people. So the solution here is just to start and go back to the basics, go back to those 3 categories of content and start making more content that attracts the ideal customer, so that you're rebuilding your following into a customer base that is actually right for your offer. Okay, so that is everything I have for you today. I know there was a lot of information jam-packed into a very small period of time, but I wanted to give you guys as much value for your time as possible. But before we go, I want to let you guys know I have some exciting news, okay? So drum roll, please. May 20th is my 10-year business anniversary. It's the day that I went full-time for myself in my business. So this is kind of a really big, important time for me. A decade in business is such a big milestone. So many businesses, the vast majority of businesses, never make it to this point. So I am, of course, incredibly proud of myself, and especially proud of this amazing community that I've built here online. So you can probably guess that I want to do a little bit of celebrating, okay, for my 10-year anniversary. So this month, I'm actually sharing valuable business content here on YouTube from what I've learned over the last decade in business for myself. And today's video was just a little taste of it, all right? We've got a lot more to come the rest of the month. And in addition to this content, I'm also going to be going live Wednesday, May 23rd to celebrate, to teach live on a business topic, and do some free live coaching with the attendees. So I'm also running a special offer on one of my favorite business programs called Insta Income, which is all about creating simple, easy, low-tech sales funnels to help you put your sales process on autopilot if that's something you desperately need. Now, you're going to need to sign up via the link below in the description box to get the exclusive coupon code on the program and a very special limited time bonus that I'm giving you guys as well, and to reserve your spot in my live business training on sales and funnels. So if you are like, Alexis, I want in, I want to know more about this discount on this awesome program. I want to go to your live. I want to do some free business coaching with you. I want to learn more about how to sell and how to create funnels. Then go ahead and click that link down in the description box and sign up, and I will send you some more information, and we will stay in touch this month so that I can let you know everything that I've got going on. And I'll probably be sending you guys all of these links to all of these awesome trainings that I'm doing as well, just so you've got everything nice and easy in one place coming straight to your email inbox. So if you found this video to be helpful, I would absolutely love to know your insights and what actions you want to start taking now that you've learned this information, right? Leave it down in the comments. Let me know what you learned, what action you want to take. I would love to hear more about your specific situation. If you did find this video helpful, if you learned anything, please give it a like, make sure to share, and make sure you subscribe here on YouTube to my channel, but also feel free to follow me on Instagram for more of the behind the scenes of my productivity, life, and business. Thank you guys so much for watching today, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.